Hello guys, today we're going to be concluding our look into this compilation. We're starting off with Viva Pinata. I did start this before, and after I got through information, I clicked on it, and it needed to be re-downloaded for some reason. So, I might be a little quicker with this information than usual, because I'm kind of going through it again. So this game came out in 2006, it's rated E, it has 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb without 200 issues or votes. On Wikipedia reception page, Metacritic gave the 360 version 84 out of 100, the PC version 78 out of 100. 1UP.com gave the game an A. GameSpot gave the 360 version 8.3 out of 10, the PC version 7.5 out of 10. GameSpot gave it 9 out of 10. IGN gave the 360 version 8.5 out of 10, the PC version 8.2 out of 10. The graphics were unanimously praised by critics, with GameSpot stating the attention to detail was uniformly impressive and asserted the visuals were cohesive. IGN found the game's graphical slowdown during its frequent auto-saving to be startling, though they praised the presentation overall. Critics commended various aspects of the gameplay. Calvert enjoyed the wide customization options and large number of pinata variations, stating that the gameplay itself was silky smooth. It was also noted there was a ton to do, and the encouragement of discovery was praised, and it was stated that it was constantly filled with moments where you find something new to do. It was commended that a large number of pinatas, stating that finding and managing all the resources is a lot of work. The surprisingly deep strategic gameplay was praised, saying it was one of the most entertaining and fulfilling experiences for the 360. But yeah, overall they said that auto-saving slowdown was a bit frustrating though. So, not a ton of stuff on this one, but let's see how it holds up. Hopefully... So I also did some experimenting. Apparently the non-rare replay Xbox 360 games are in fact just the 360 ports, plainly. So there's not really much to cover with them. So I'm not really going to cover them because it's just like these, only the extra slots, they added them separately as a bonus so you wouldn't have to go through rare replay. I think that's what I could gather, but I might have to experiment more to be sure.
Island. In its many gardens, all manner of pinatas live, dance, and dream that one day they will be chosen to entertain at a party as only pinatas can. Well, most pinatas, that is. Oh, fudge! Shake it, shake it, shake it. Party animal. Break it, break it, break it. Party animal. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Party animal. Filled with fun. Filled with fun.
You know, right, when I was doing research, I realized that there was a TV show called Viva Pinata. I wonder if this is a spin on that or something. We'll have to see. Let's see how this... I have a feeling that while this game is rated E, and that doesn't necessarily mean stuff, I feel like it might be aimed more towards the little kid side, so we'll have to see.
The pinata creatures and plant life that inhabit this land are all determined by you. From the minute you dig your first hole and plant your first seeds, you're well on your way to attracting your first pinata visitor. If they like what they see, these pinatas may even move in. You'll also be able to name your new friend. As your pinata collection grows, you can choose which to collect and which to trade. Life on Pinata Island is never all daisies and apple trees. When illness or danger threatens, you'll need to be the one who comes to the rescue. This is your world to explore and ultimately transform into whatever you want. So feel free to change anything, everything, if only to see what happens. The world of Viva Pinata is a living, breathing place full of opportunities and unforgettable characters.
Oh, hello. I was hoping someone would come and help me tidy up this mess. You must be the new owner. I'm Leafos, and I'm here to help you.
Okay.
I've given you the journal. When you finish talking to me, press X to open the menu, and then I'll tell you what to try next. Welcome to the menu. Close this alert with A, and then you can move the left stick, and the leaf in the middle will point to the different things that you can do. Point the leaf at the journal, then select it with A.
Alright,
This is the journal. It stores all the information that you discover when you are playing the game. The journal is split up into different parts to make it easier to find what you need. It works just like the menu. There's not much to see yet, so have a quick look and let's get back to the garden.
okay. Yeah, I will say it's definitely looks-wise really good. Now, to be honest, I don't think the intro they did quite matches what this game actually is
Whenever
portraying
something
itself
important is
as.
happening, this is how you'll be told. When you're ready, press down on the D-pad to select the alert. Alerts will wait down here for you to look at them.
Okay, let's speed this up here.
Present.
Here's a present, here's a fucking shovel, get to work. Wow, that is the shittiest looking shovel I've ever seen in my life.
Grab your shovel from the menu and the buttons in the top right of the screen tell you what you
Okay,
can
I'm not gonna whack the character.
You need to clear away the junk and hard soil. Let's get a look. You've uncovered some coins. When you put the
Alright, I am speeding through this. I just kind of want to get to the point where...
You've uncovered some coin. You need to clear away the junk.
Yep,
You need to
Yes, I understand. I'm trying to get the fucking coins. Jeez.
Well done. You attracted a world.
Alright, cool. Is that grabbing by the Ghoulies arcade? That's kind of funny. I like the Easter eggs. It's gonna be a lot of this shit. So that's the border, okay. Nice to know what I have to work with. So I'll just work. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to clear up this frickin' place for your ass, so excuse me if I'm... Yep, I know I have an award.
Take this grass seed packet and...
Alright. Get out of the fucking way. I'm starting to think this game might not be meant for me. God, how big is this fucking place? Jeez. Oh my god. Barely made a fucking dent. Okay, I'm not spending all time with this. I'm gonna call it good. I know we didn't get to see much with that, but I can already tell that what kind of game that was going to be. Now, granted, I think it looks good. I like the world and stuff, but it's just way too kid for me. I mean, maybe once it gets going, I could find some cool little things in it, but it takes too long to get going. I'd rather move on to something else. I think it's worth taking a look at, especially if you have, like, kids, or if you want something that's kind of addictive, but more on the family-friendly side. It's not awful in it. The intro's probably the worst of it. If they cut off that intro with the characters and the goofy grins and the sing-along, if they cut out that shit and just went straight to the narration and all that, it'd probably be better off, not gonna lie. So that's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, we'll move on to the next thing, which will be Jetpac Refuelled, right here once we get back to the game. Right here. So this game came out in 2007. It has it has a 5.0 out of 10 with 6 people, so not a well looked at movie. Game rankings on the Wikipedia reception page, Game Rankings gave the game 72%. Metacritic gave the game 73 out of 100. Eurogamer gave the game 7 out of 10. GameSpot gave it 7.2 out of 10. GamesRadar Plus gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. IGN gave it 8 out of 10. And VideoGamer.com gave it 7 out of 10. Reviewers praised the updated graphics and addictive gameplay. However, they criticized the overall repetitiveness of the game and its mediocre multiplayer mode. Eurogamer praised the visual makeover the new game, calling it undoubtedly the best addition to the series. GamesRadar labeled the updated graphics as trippy, putting them over the primitive original. GameSpot praised the updated graphics as the best addition to the game, heralding them as a crisp, bright, and colorful and far superior to the original 1983 version. IGN similarly thought the graphics were the strongest aspect of the game, praising effects as vibrant and colorful, whilst calling the ZX Spectrum version nostalgically bad. They also added that the updated visuals of the game made the experience feel almost 10 times the game as the original. The repetitiveness of the game was criticized, stating that while the 128 levels was good value for the money, the gameplay was merely a repeat of what the player had already accomplished, and the multiplayer mode could prove annoying very quickly. It was also criticized. The repetitiveness was also criticized and stated that it was felt generally gameplay was shallow, despite admitting it was addictive. So other people found the action repetitive and stated that there was not enough variety, especially in multiplayer mode. However, the gameplay was praised as fast, fun, and addictive, and as expected an Xbox Live Arcade game to be. A video gamer noted that the large number of levels caused the game to feel repetitive, but praised the overall addictiveness and fast pace of the game. So let's take a look at this here. And then we're going back to another Viva Pinata game after that. Oh, achievement here. Oh, back to 360. Sampled every Jetman game in collection. Interesting. Got a little achievement there. Look at this. Huh. Huh. Interesting. I might try both. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah, this is so cool. Oh yeah, the triggers? Okay. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, like, no joke. Like, what the people said about, like, the old one. Oh wow, upgrades. Shit. Oh, I need fuel, that's what it is. I had to drop it somehow. Fuck. Alright, let's try the retro quickly. Oh, it's just that, okay. I already played this before, so let's. Okay, alright, so that's what it is. We'll give this another shot. I think I got it down a little bit. I think I just That's a clear thing. There we go. Shit. So it just needs to be dropped a certain way. Shit. I don't think it got. Maybe I should look at the controls. Need one more. There we go. Sweet. Music's cool too. This is really solid, like, remaster of it. I don't know how exactly you drop it. Shit. Shit, I think... Shit. Alright, I think we're good. So that was great. I think it's definitely worth the value. I need to check out multiplayer though with somebody, see if that truly is shitty. But but I think it's good. I mean, I would like to see different challenges and all that stuff. I can see it being very repetitive. Definitely more of a every once in a while thing. But I think compared to the original, and then you add this, I think it's great. To be honest, I love that concept. I think it'll be worth exploring in more in depth, and I think it is possible to do that. People were interested in it at some point. But yeah, next here we got is huh, weird. It hasn't counted these at all. Interesting. Oh well. Probably a 360 stuff, it's okay. Alright, next is the sequel to Viva Pinata Trouble. This one's called Trouble in Paradise. On the IMDb, this one was released in 2008. It's rated E, of course. It has a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb with about 60-ish user votes. Wikipedia reception page. Metacritic gave the game 82 out of 100. EGM gave it an A. Eurogamer gave it an 8 out of 10. GameSpot 8.5 out of 10. And IGN gave it 8.5 out of 10. Critics had found its predecessor surprisingly engaging and thought that Trouble in Paradise Edition made it the definitive Viva Pinata release. Critics agreed that changes made the game friendlier for the new players and children. They appreciated the new game's improvements. Some were disappointed that the base game was essentially unchanged. Viewers considered Trouble in Paradise to be an expansion of the original game rather than a unique sequel. Critics praised the new features. GameSpot thought the sequel's in-game challenges resolved the core issue of the original game, the lack of motivation to continue breeding new species, whereas the challenges direct players to collect new species. It was also appreciated that the 2 new trap areas for adding to the game's variety of characters, though they did not find the actual layering of traps and transport pinatas interesting. IGN thought that it felt wrong but oddly satisfying to put pinatas in captivity. They considered the trap areas a good idea but unwelcome as another obstacle in the animal acquisition process. The cooperative features were also praised, but found local cooperative to lose most of the benefits of efficient multitasking. GameSpot, on the other hand, felt that it was strange to be on either side of the cooperative gardening experience, which lacks the game's creative element when the visitor is directed by the garden's owner. Eurogamer saw a lack of depth in the online gameplay, both in feelings of connections with others and how the online matchmaking became a brief show and tell of a garden instead of a cross-exchange like in Animal Crossing or Spore. Reviewers agreed that cooperative was useful for introducing new players to the game. Viewers considered some of the smaller additions useful and others gimmicky. Critics appreciated the release's time-saving interface tweaks and overall pacing, but thought, for instance, that the vision camera integration added little to the game. EGM had wanted more development of the story. GameSpot was grateful that the story remained in the background of the game, while EGM wrote that loading times had been improved. IGN considered them frustratingly long considering the previous game's slow start. Eurogamer thought that Trouble in Paradise did a better job of introducing the player to the world by preloading player gardens with animals, plants, and decorations and offering a tutorial. It was wondered whether the game went too far, from too slow to too hyperactive. Viewers praised the game's bright visuals and cute characters. GameSpot was impressed by the game's visuals and wrote that players would continue playing the game if only to unlock nuanced animated video of pinatas acting cute during major life milestones. It was recalled that the human helper characters as an exception, who were off-putting with creepy masks and offensive voice acting. IGN praised the game's surround sound but not its soundtrack composition, and GameSpot considered the voice acting harsh against the game's otherwise tranquil mood. GameSpot called the game a safe sequel to a great game. Ultimately, IGN wrote that the expansion pack of the original game would have served the same function. Even with Trouble in Paradise's upgraded controls, Eurogamer preferred the precision of the Nintendo DS version stylus or of a computer mouse, and thought the game could be further simplified. However, they saw the new release as a more polished opportunity to attract an audience that was not originally convinced by the reception of the first game. EGM said that the players that hated the original game would not be swayed by the sequel. GameSpot year in review staff nominated but did not award the game as best game no one played. So let's take a look at this. I don't know how much of this I'm going to play like the last one, so we'll have to see. This is kind of, I did not expect going through the first 2 games so quick. It's kind of an odd change of pace for that. But I'm sure the last game, Banjo-Kazooie, would definitely probably, Cardinal Almanac, would probably eat up some time. That's funny. Alright. You know what this game, the Viva Pinata games remind me of graphically wise? From the backyard games like Backyard Baseball. They kind of have that similar kind of vibe with them. Sounds like the Transformer transform music when they transform. Alright. Hopefully. Oh, spooky.
I just love fireworks. Get away. This is my moment. What are you waiting for? Get inside and finish the job. Now that we're inside Pinata Central, we can use simple hacking techniques to steal the Pinata files. Soon, I will know the location and weaknesses of
I feel like the voice actor of this main villain deserves so much better than this role.
Until I am the Pinata King of the world! Hurry up, you incompetent code monkey! I have Pinata to capture!
Delete all files. Press A key to confirm.
What just happened? You did what? No! Pinata Central is out of action until the records are restored. And in the meantime, I'll make sure those papery pinheads never reach the Canadata. Victory is mine!
Hi, I'm Leafos, and I'm going to help you get started. Look for this. It can show up anywhere.
Okay,
but
I'm
it
gonna
only-
skip through this. Oh wow, they went right to that. Yes, Abyss Potty or whatever.
This pretty little pinata has smelled the...
Oh, an actual fucking shovel this time. Yes, I get it. It's adorable.
Well done. You attracted a worm. The worm has turned up the...
Can't venture out. Oh wow. Yeah. Let's just do that. Oh, that's actually, I actually enjoy doing that. Ooh. Fuck is that? Let's get them to evolve. No, they don't like that. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm good. I know there's a tutorial thing available to do more, but to be honest, I'm just not feeling it. I mean, I will say I like that. I like that they get you start off more off the bat. I will say that. Oh, what the frick? Wow, so now I get the whole fucking place, jeez. Oh, it's a challenge. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that shit. But yeah, just because I know what's gonna lead to, this game's just kind of one of those like kind of chill sim like managed stuff, and I love games like that. This isn't this. It's just what this game's doing is just not my style. But yeah, I agree with. So far, I like that they kind of start you off already with some stuff as opposed to having to do everything from scratch. I mean, I don't necessarily mind that, but it's like you just hop in and it's like, holy shit, you gotta dig a ton of stuff. And I don't know. I guess this game is too kid-driven for my taste. I don't mind kid-based games necessarily, but if it's something that's playing to a really, really specific demographic, to a degree, these games kind of do. I feel like this game is a little bit better at not like going full board with it, unlike the first one. But I don't know. They're not bad games. They're just not for me. But yeah, last game in this collection here, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. So this game came out in 2008. Has 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb with 200-ish user votes. Oh boy, this is a big one. Metacritic gave the game 79 out of 100. 1UP.com gave it an A-. Eurogamer gave it 7 out of 10. Game Informer 8.5 out of 10. GameSpot 8.5 out of 10. GameSpy 4 out of 5 stars. IGN gave the US version 8.3 out of 10, and the UK gave the game a 6.5 out of 10. Some of the community criticized the game for not featuring certain key elements found in previous games, but the game eventually received positive reviews later on. According to Rare, the early reception was expected. The game received mostly positive reviews from critics upon the release. The vehicular-based mechanics of the game were met with skepticism from many reviewers. Eurogamer criticized the overall design of vehicles and the lack of traditional platforming as unfair, alongside citing a weak mission design. Game Informer stated that the mission structure was a mixed bag, asserting that racing was largely repetitive and derivative. GameSpot praised the variety of the mission structure and vehicle building, stating that each problem requires creative thinking and innovation. However, the controls were criticized and the physics as well as some of the vehicles, thus adding difficulty to the overall experience. GameSpy called Rare's decision to move the emphasis away from platforming toward creation as bold, but criticized the game's mechanics and the maneuverability of land-based vehicles, although it was noted that airplanes and helicopters were easy to utilize. Furthermore, there was further criticism on the maneuverability of vehicles, stating that it was overall frustrating how much the game relied on the awkward mechanics. Giant Bomb praised the driving mechanics and vehicle construction, despite initially being frustrated with the game's controls. It was also praised toward the innovation of the game offered, stating that vehicle building and enormous variety of mission types would attract all audiences. Games Radar heavily criticized the overall mechanics and vehicular gameplay to be both ridiculously complicated and unsuitable for a Banjo game. Games Radar also criticized Rare's old habit of collectathons, stating that all the elements of the game were clumsily put together and the aspects of unlocking new levels were difficult to understand due to the many items that were pre-required. Game Informer called the vehicle construction fun, but criticized Rare's habit of forcing the player to collect large quantities of items to build their vehicles and progress through the game. Games Trailer similarly criticized the vehicular theme of the game, citing that the sensitive physics and controls adds up to an overall frustrating experience. IGN praised the game's absence of platform elements, really, and asked fans of Banjo-Kazooie not to write the game off due to its challenge and genre. There was also praise for the vehicle creation as powerful in the depth of the game's mechanics. IGN UK criticized the new direction of the game's genre, summarizing the lack of platforming action as screwed up. Wales stated that the game's mechanics and vehicle construction fails badly due to the lack of any fundamentally engaging framework to support the game's creative elements. Video Gamer praised the complex construction of vehicles and stated that it was the most rewarding aspect of the game. Wired heavily criticized the mechanics, challenges the new genre of the game, panning the overall experience as a disappointing simplistic sandbox. They also added that the racing missions were boring, frustrating, similarly stating that the same for vehicle customization. In a retrospective review, Games Radar stated that Nuts and Bolts laid down groundwork for future games that revolve around construction, such as Fallout 4 and the Kerbal Space Program. In 2019, the composer of the game acknowledged the game's polarized reception and spoke out, claiming that it is a good game and predates most other games involving construction mechanics, but also thought it should have used new concepts and characters rather than being a Banjo-Kazooie game. So let's take a look at this thing. I'll show you how big the cutscenes are. Game looks great though, I will say that. The graphics are actually really cool. Great update on that world compared to like the older
Once
games.
upon a time, there lived a heroic bear called Banjo, a rather loud bird called Kazooie, and an unpleasant witch called Gruntilda. When Banjo's sister was kidnapped, the bear and bird rescued her from the depths of the witch's lair, overcoming many perils and speech impediments to send Gruntilda tumbling to her doom. But she was nothing if not persistent, and surprising nobody, the old hag soon rose from her grave for round two. Our brave heroes once again stood in her way, and this second showdown ended just as badly for Gruntilda, who really should have quit while she was ahead. Many years have passed, and peace reigns in Spiral Mountain. So what became of the bear, the bird, and the witch?
Oh. Is Kazooie playing a 360? Oh wow. Wow. I can understand some fans feeling a little betrayed. They really are kind of mixing in some of the fourth wall breakingness of this game. Wow. Jeez. Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, that's kind of. I like that character. I like coolies. What the hell? Jeez. Wow. Cat. This is almost too like self-aware. I don't know. Oh my god, this is... Huh. Oh jeez, tutorial. Oh, okay. Oh wow. Okay. Jeez. There you go. Oh wow. This is a lot of information to show for the first time. All right, I think I gotta call it good. I don't want to get too far into it, and to be honest, I just don't really. I'm finding this game hard to process. Let me tell you. Wow, it's so weird. The first two games had a sense of humor, but it was never like, as far as I could tell, it was never like mega self-aware. It was just more kind of, kind of PG, kind of smart alecky, but nothing like to this extreme. This is like a whole different game, but yet it's not. It's, first of all, the self-awareness of it just throws me off too much. I mean, here's the thing. If this was like the cajillionth installment in the series, fair, I'd be fine with it. But this is only the official third installment. That's not a lot. It only had 2 installments kind of in that world, roughly. And then they do this shit here. This is just too crazy for a third installment. I don't mind the vehicle stuff. I actually don't mind that they have that. What really throws me off is the fact that, this whole world that we develop, we're just gonna throw that out the window and we're just gonna do this whole new thing. Now, granted, I like the idea of different video game worlds and characters kind of in that vein. I actually think that's cool and creative. And I'm not saying it couldn't be explored here, but I think what really throws me off overall, again, is the self-awareness. I don't mind a clever self-aware joke, and there's some games where that's just the thing from the get-go, but that was never this game's thing from the get-go. It's almost like they combine the sense of humor of Conker's Bad Fur Day, put it in a Banjo-Kazooie game, change the whole Banjo-Kazooie formula of gameplay, and just, it's like they did 3 major things in one game. Arguably didn't really need it because they didn't really have that many main installments. I know it sounds like I'm complaining a lot about this game, but to be honest, and here's the thing, I don't think it's a bad game at all. In fact, I could argue that it's actually a really good game. But but after playing the first 2 Banjo and Kazooie games, and then going to this, I understand some of the confusion and a little bit of the anger from the fans on this game. It definitely feels very tricky. And yeah, the driving, I'm not saying the driving isn't god-awful, but I've played better driving games. This game, the driving elements in this game definitely feel a little rough. I will say that. But yeah, that overall, though, it's still decent. But yeah, that kind of concludes my look into all these games here. Wow. I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite compilations. Just a lot of great, popular, and unknown games. I mean, really, none of these I would say are god-awful, except for... That Fur Day's a little bit on the low end, but I think it's still decent. I think the only game I played that I just... Almost okay. Gunfight was a little rough, but overall, this is a really awesome collection. I definitely recommend it. It's on Game Pass, so you can definitely get a lot of cool stuff there. God, this is a great compilation, I have to say. Like, all the positive stuff that I mentioned in the part 1 of the video when I talk about the whole compilation as a whole, it's true. I will say, like, the 360 ports, I do admit, kind of drag it down by a tiny hair, because it feels like they kind of cheated a little bit by not fully including them in the game and doing this kind of patch half-ass work with it. But it still comes with it overall, though, the games. It's just they kind of went a weird way of doing it. But yeah, I think I definitely recommend it. And seeing all these like franchises just makes you realize, you know what? Outside of this compilation, Microsoft hasn't done shit with these characters in Xbox One, period. Like they didn't make a Battletoads game for Xbox One. They didn't make a Perfect Dark game for Xbox One. They didn't make a Banjo-Kazooie game for Xbox One. They didn't make a Conker's game for Xbox One. They didn't do anything for Xbox One with these characters outside of a compilation. It just kind of makes you realize that Xbox One generation is just kind of garbagey, a little garbagey a little bit. But overall, this is fantastic, and it's exclusive to Xbox. So it definitely adds a lot of value. So overall, very good compilation. Definitely recommend it, and I think it definitely adds a lot of value to the Xbox One library for sure. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. In case you want to chat with anyone at the camping company, you don't want to use the YouTube comments section, we do have a couple of options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the About page / About section of our channel. We also have a community tab on our channel as well. Feel free to comment anytime in that. And also we have a Patreon page in the works. The main goal of the Patreon page is to raise money to give the channel a bit bigger of a budget to do more ambitious things on there, and also to start making merchandise for the channel, which will have it aimed at aspects of the channel you guys enjoy. So any support we get for that is much appreciated. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.